You guys are watching Lubed for February the 14th, 2024, also known as Valentine's Day. And many of you guys, I'm hoping, if you are with your lady, that you're not watching me and you're paying attention to your old lady or your wife or your girlfriend, taking that lovely person out to dinner. I hope that that is the case. So happy Valentine's Day to all the lovely women and wives and girlfriends and partners out there. Also, a special shout out to my boy in Edmonton, Steve. Happy 50th. And to your lovely daughter, Sydney. Happy 18th. I wish I could be there for you guys and catching up and maybe checking out an Oiler game over at your place like we used to do way back in the day. Unfortunately, I am a little tied up here in Vernon, so I was unable to come down. But yeah, wow, what a hockey game last night. What a performance by Connor McDavid. Like, I remember living in Edmonton shortly after it was announced that we won the draft lottery, and we knew who we were going to take. It was a no-brainer. And I remember listening to the Jason Greger show on the Team 1260 when that was still around, and him saying, "Buckle up, folks. The next 8 years or whatever he said is going to be an absolute roller coaster." And I agreed with him at that point in time, but I just never realized that it was going to be every single game. Like, clutch. Absolutely clutch. He may not win the Hart this year, but I still think he has a real good chance of winning the Hart. What a hockey player. And the Edmonton Oilers were able to draft him. So please, Edmonton, the rest of that team, get that man a cup. Get that man a cup. It'll be the worst failing of his life, and he's been nothing but a blessing to the city of Edmonton. Yeah, what a game. 6-point night. Unbelievable play. An 8-4 win over the Wings. And if you were to tell me that Connor McDavid wouldn't score a goal in that game, I would say you're crazy. Out of eight goals, out of 8 goals for the Oilers, no goals by Connor McDavid, but he did tally 6 assists. 6 assists. That's so sick. And then some of the moves he made and that, it was just, oh man, it's mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. All right, so obviously we're going to talk about the Wings and the Oilers. I also want to dive into Holland's body of work, since this could very well be his swan song as a GM. He may retire after this. I just kind of want to run by 3 pros and 3 cons. Basically, 3 deals he did that were good and 3 deals that were kind of bad. So we're going to go over that. Also, I'm hearing this all over the place. Now, this isn't going to be an armchair GM. I'm going to do that, I think, on Sunday. But it's kind of a hybrid armchair GM, because we're going to talk about Jake Gunzel, because I'm seeing this everywhere that the Oilers should go for him. It would be a good fit. So we're going to discuss that a little bit. And then, obviously, we're going to dive into the game tomorrow night against the St. Louis Blues as the Oilers head back on the road again. Came home for one and then back on the road into St. Louis. So we'll discuss that, and hopefully you guys will chime in with final thoughts. Now, I know a previous episode there, I don't know if I was getting the messages. I saw on the message board later that you guys did message. I do apologize for not responding. I was not receiving it on my end, so there may be some issues with that. Hopefully I can get it corrected. But anyway, let's get into this. Let's talk about the Oilers and Wings game, and just an absolutely crazy game. An absolutely stunning game by Connor McDavid. I honestly can't say enough. What he did last night was like, wow. It was silly, silly, silly stuff. Let me get that banner out of the way there. But yeah, it was something to just to witness and to just be in awe as the Edmonton Oilers win 8-4 against the Wings. I got winged there, but it's actually Wings. Sorry, should have been plural. An 8-4 victory. I thought this game was going to be a lot closer. I really predicted maybe a 4-3 game. I actually predicted Detroit to win because the Oilers have been kind of slipping a little bit, but the Oilers brought it. And I think one of the reasons is they kind of went back to their defensive pairings. And I think that was a massive, massive thing. They're familiar with each other. Having Bouchard with Jakob, and it just the pairings worked. And then once you shuffle it up a little bit, you're starting to lose that chemistry. Also, a shout out to Cody Ceci for getting, I think, his first goal in something like 120 some games. I think it was in the LA series. So a long, long time ago he scored, but he ended up getting a goal last night. It was just a lot of good things. Dylan Holloway scoring a massive goal. We're going to get into that right now because we're going to talk about the scoring summary. So it started off with Leon Draisaitl in the first period at 8:48. This would be assisted by Darnell Nurse and Cody Ceci. So right there you can see that pairing of D works as they got the primary and secondary assists. Then Cody Ceci getting his first goal. I don't know exactly what they said, but it's like it was a long time ago. And getting it from Darnell Nurse and Connor McDavid. That's Connor McDavid's first of 6 points, by the way. Before the period ends, Alex DeBrincat would get a power play goal from Patrick Kane and Moritz Snyder. Just an absolutely snipe pass from Kane. Like, that's one area that, I know he's an aging player and he's lost a few steps, but boy, oh boy, what a quick pass and what a goal. Second period, Evan Bouchard would get his 19th on the power play from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid, number 2. And that would be his 52nd point or 52nd assist, I believe. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but yeah. Then Detroit would crank it up a little bit. And they would actually make a game out of it, tying it by the end of the second period. With goals by Joel Velnino on the power play, and Patrick Kane getting his 8th from TJ Comper and David Perron at 14:30. It would be a 3-3 tie going into the third period. And I'm also going to talk about that power play because Detroit were awarded 3. Edmonton were not even awarded one single power play. So I don't know. I mean, was Detroit really that disciplined with their sticks in that? I don't know. Anyway, we go to the third period, and this is when the Oilers just erupt. It would be Dylan Holloway getting his 3rd of the year with an absolutely NHL 2024 dive play to chip it in after Bouchard passed it or put it up to him. And Connor McDavid, just an absolute wouldn't give up kind of play. Really nice goal by Dylan Holloway. Then Ryan Nugent-Hopkins getting his 13th from Connor McDavid. Oh, by the way, Connor McDavid did get the assist also on Dylan Holloway. And then Connor McDavid gets an assist on the Ryan Nugent-Hopkins one. And that would be also Evan Bouchard. Then we go into Zach Hyman, and this is where Connor McDavid didn't get an assist. It would only be Leon Draisaitl, his 37th. Evander Kane would score at 13:41. Connor McDavid, go figure. And Vinny Desharnais, the assists. David Perron would get his 11th of the year from Ben Sherratt and Christian Fischer. And then it would be Ryan Nugent-Hopkins closing the night out at 17:49. 8-4 is your final. A hell of a game. A very interesting game and a game of definitely a lot of highlight reels. As far as the game breakdown goes, Detroit actually outshot us by a count of 38-36. So Detroit showed a lot of hunger. There's no question about that. But what ended up happening, this could be a major factor of what happened in that game. On the Oilers' first goal by Leon Draisaitl, I believe it was the first goal, Ville Husso pulled something, and he was pulled from the game. So, yeah, that was like he was the starter and supposed to start, and he's been going through a bit of a rough stretch with his time on. So, I don't know what happened there. It looked like he might have pulled something. It looked like he hyper stretched his calf muscle or something. So it wasn't good, and that could have played a huge role in the outcome of it. As far as giveaways go, this one was close, but again, Oilers are still giving away the puck more than the opponent, as it was 10-9 for the Edmonton Oilers. The power play, no, as I mentioned just before, no power plays awarded to the Oilers. When it came to the penalty kill, the Oilers are struggling again still with that penalty kill compared to where they were during that streak, as they allowed 2 goals on 3 power plays for the Red Wings, where they were just absolutely shutting out opponents during that 16-game winning streak. This is where the Oilers really excelled. 60.7% on the dot. This number, when I was looking at that, I'm like, ooh, that's huge. Because you know how it usually is. It's like 52, 53. 60%. I was like shocked when I saw that. Obviously, I think Leo's actually starting to become an excellent face-off player. So I think that's one of the major things. I got Picard here. I don't think I updated this stat. Let me just see if I can give you the updated one. I think I failed to. It wasn't Picard. That was in net. Let me just see here. Give you the actual stat here. Okay. For the Edmonton Oilers. Okay, there it was. It was actually Skinner. He had 4 goals, 34 saves. So he was actually an 895. So he's been kind of struggling. And I do apologize for that graphic not being updated. But yeah, he had kind of a bit of a rough night. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see. You can't. I don't like blaming the goalie, as the D-men that surround him got to play a lot better. We saw what happened in that 16-game winning streak. They were clutch. They were relentless. They weren't allowing anything. And then what did get through, Skinner would be there. But Skinner was also standing on his head too. So, yeah, a bit of a rough night for Skinner. And then my 3 stars, Connor McDavid, number 1. If I was to say Connor McDavid 3rd star, it'd be crazy. So for sure, I was almost going to say the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd star is Connor McDavid, but I'm not going to do that. Like they did for Sam Gagner when he had that 8-point night against Chicago. But yes, 6-point night for Connor McDavid. Bouchard also had a extremely good night here, as he had 1 goal and 2 assists. And Cody Ceci, he was definitely a contributor in this game with 2 points, 1 goal and 1 assist. So way to go. What an amazing game that was. Thrilled to see it. Thrilled to see what they were able to accomplish. To see Connor McDavid actually to do that, like, mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. Okay. Let's talk about Ken Holland for a little bit here. It's almost a guarantee that this will be his last season as a GM. I think he's going to be stepping down. I don't know who's going to take over the reins, if it's going to be within the organization or if they're going to hire her out. But let's take a look at his body of work as the Edmonton Oilers general manager. Now, he's got a history here. Before I get into that, let's talk about his actual history. Obviously, he was a goaltender. He played only, I think, oh no, he's got a couple. He did play for the Hartford Whalers and he played for the Detroit Red Wings. But this is also the 80s, like, or was it the, no, yeah, 80s, late 70s, 80s. And his goals against average was an 825. Much different time, though. Much different time. As far as his, so this is professional totals. Oh, NHL totals. He only played 4 games, so he didn't really last long in the league. And he had 2 losses. He didn't even have a win. Ooh, that kind of sucks. But he did have a tie. He had 1 tie. But yeah, his body of work as a goaltender in the NHL wasn't as good as what he did as a general manager and an assistant manager. In 1997, he won the Stanley Cup with the Red Wings as an assistant. And in 1998, 2002, and 2008, he was the general manager of the Detroit Red Wings, winning the cup as a whole. Since then, once the salary cap kind of came into fruition, he's struggled. And then obviously Steve Yzerman took over the duties as GM there, and that's where the Edmonton Oilers picked him up after departing with Peter Chiarelli. So as far as his pros and cons and what he has done as the Edmonton Oilers GM, we're going to talk about one of his pros. And it's kind of a gradual build up to the bigger ones. And there's only going to be 3 pros, 3 cons. But I think trading for Klim Kostin was a awesome deal. The player was Sharmarukov, I believe. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. We didn't lose much, and what Kostin brought to this team was a lot of energy, a lot of character. He brought a lot of snap, a lot of toughness. He made us really good. And seeing his interview prior to the game, you could tell he misses Edmonton. He misses the excitement. I could just see it in his face, the way he was talking. Like he had a good time. He has nothing but respect for this city, and a kudos for him. One of his cons, it's still relating to Klim Kostin, as he wasn't re-signed. From what I understand, it's about a difference of $500,000. The Oilers wanted to sign him at $1.5 million. He wanted $2 million, so he ended up choosing to leave for Detroit, and that's all fair for him. But I don't know if Holland was absolutely handcuffed with the money. He could have been, and that's why he couldn't get to that point. Because I do think he would have been worth $2 million. Like, for what he brought, the character he brought, I really liked Klim Kostin. I was even thinking of getting a Klim Kostin jersey last year. That's how much I liked him. It's good I never, because honestly, he only lasted half a season with the Oilers. Moving on to the next one. Taking a chance on Kane. And I'm going to say this with a lot of emphasis. That was a ballsy move. Because if it didn't work out, and some of Kane's history floated into the Oilers locker room, I don't think he would be the general manager right now. And to have his historic resume tainted by having a player that really failed him would have been just not a good story ending for his journey in the NHL as a GM. The chance that he took on Kane, there was a lot of people, even when I was doing the channel, I was like, okay, let's hope this works out. And it worked out fabulous. Evander Kane is an amazing player, an amazing community person, just an amazing human being. And I think a lot of this stuff and rhetoric that came, that was being exposed, is a lot of confusion with media stuff. There is probably some truths to it. I mean, because you don't get into the media that much being negative. And I know there was the money shot in Vegas and all that. So there was things that obviously didn't sit well with his dressing room in San Jose, with his dressing room in Winnipeg. But he addressed the media in some conferences just after he came to Edmonton. He's been nothing but an amazing dude. So, yeah. And that was a risky move by Ken Holland on that one. His cons this year, signing Brown. Now, I would have never expected Brown to be goalless at this point in the season. I think one of those signing bonuses should have been he needed to score X amount of goals, and then we would be off the hook on him. Unfortunately, I think the signing bonus is he had to play 10 games. So, and that signing bonus comes into next year's contract, which is unfortunate. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. And I don't know if there was any, I hope there was in that contract a deal that it was maybe X amount of goals, but I don't think there was. I think it was just he had to play 10 games, and he's already done that. Still looking for his first goal, and it reminds me of Tobias Ryder all over again. You know, I mean, Tobias Ryder came in that 1 year. Everyone was hyped up about him playing with Draisaitl and the two Germans, and now they were going to be such a good tandem. You know, Brown came into this season, going to be McDavid's partner. They rekindle the old Erie Otter days. Not so much. All right, let's go for the big one now. Signing Zach Hyman. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Zach Hyman has been nothing but amazing for the Edmonton Oilers. Toronto made a big mistake by overpaying certain players and using up too much cap space because they had a diamond in Zach Hyman. And now we got that diamond, which is absolutely amazing. And unfortunately, his biggest con is the signing of Jack Campbell. I don't know what we're going to do with this contract or if he's going to ever rebound and play for the Oilers again. We're still on the hook for, I believe, another 3 seasons. Another 3 seasons at $5 million. And he's an AHL goalie. I don't know what is going to end up happening with that. So this is one of his biggest failures that he could possibly make. So I don't know. He's kind of 50-50 as far as the way I see it with what he was able to do. So we'll see what happens. Boy, I'm really dragging this episode out here. We're already 24 minutes into it. I apologize, guys, but there's just a lot of stuff I wanted to discuss. And the other thing here I'm seeing a lot on the internet is Jake Guentzel. And I'm reading up, is he really that good? So I brought up some of his stats and all that kind of stuff. And would you guys be interested in signing Jake Guentzel? His best year was in 2021-22. Now, for whatever reason, the stats I got up to is last year. I don't even have his stats right now, so this is a little bit inaccurate at the point. I think he would be a good fitting left wing for maybe McDavid or that. There could be a real lethal power play or lethal on the 5-on-5. But what is it going to cost us? What is it going to cost us? So just a little thing on Jake Guentzel here of what he has brought. He's been a Pittsburgh Penguin since 16 and 17. His best year was 2021-22, where he tallied up 84 points. He had a 40-goal season, 44 assists. And then even in 22-23, he was very effective with 73. So he slowly started getting better. His first year, he only had 33, but he only also played that was 40 games. I think, yeah, that would have been no, it wouldn't have been COVID. It wouldn't have been the COVID year. He had 39s in the COVID year, and he got 43. So he has been decent, but the question is what is the price? What is the price for him? What would we pay for him? Obviously, I'm thinking it's going to be probably a first, a prospect. Who knows if that can even come to fruition. Again, this isn't my armchair GM that I'm going to be doing on the weekend because I think we need to address goaltending more than any of our offense and defense. I think our key thing is goaltending because do we really want to go into the Stanley Cup playoffs with Calvin Pickard as your backup? That's he's doing okay. Don't get me wrong, but do you want to go into the Stanley Cup playoffs with that? Or are we going to try bringing up Jack Campbell? I don't know. So I'm in favor of this. And you know what? It is cup or bust time, as Connor McDavid said at the beginning of the year. So I would do the first a prospect, maybe Broberg, and maybe another pick or something, or I don't know. I don't know what you'd give up and what would be tempting enough for Kyle Dubas in Pittsburgh to sign off and say, "Yep, let's do it." So we'll see what happens there. Okay, guys. Tomorrow night, the Edmonton Oilers again are flying out to Missouri to take on the St. Louis Blues. It should be a heck of a game. As St. Louis has started kind of coming around a little bit since the firing of Craig Berube. And they're kind of battling to try to stay alive, to stay relevant in the playoffs. I can honestly see the St. Louis Blues getting the second wild card position and taking on the Vancouver Canucks in the first round. I think that is a likely scenario, but it's really too hard to say. As far as the Oilers go, I pretty much think they are going to face the Vegas Golden Knights in the first round, just the way it's lining up. With Vancouver, it's too tough to say because there's Calgary still kind of in the fold, Nashville, St. Louis. There's too many teams that are kind of leapfrogging on a nightly basis. But the Edmonton Oilers will take on those Blues tomorrow night. Let me just pull up the stats here. Currently, the Blues are on a one-game losing streak. The Edmonton Oilers are on a one-game winning streak. This game is going to be at the Enterprise Center in St. Louis, Missouri, USA. And it's going to be on Sportsnet West. The last time they played, St. Louis defeated us by a count of 4-3 back on December 15th, 2022. Wow. That was a long time ago since we played them. 2022, so over a year ago. A year and a couple of months ago. Currently, their record is 28-22-2. The Oilers 31-17-1. St. Louis's home record 15-9-1. The Oilers' away record 14-11-0. The last 10, pretty close to even records here. St. Louis has a 7-3-0 record. The Oilers have an 8-2 record. Skinner is likely to start with a .909 save percentage. Jordan Binnington likely to start with a .909 save percentage. Both dead even there. Goals against Skinner as a .249, Binnington a .289. Skinner's record is 24-11-1. Binnington 18-14-2. They both have 2 shutouts. When it comes to goals, St. Louis is kind of at the bottom of the pack there. 26th in the league, averaging 2.88 goals per game. Shots on goal, 25th, averaging 28.8 shots per game. power play, 22nd in the league at 16.9. The face-offs, 22nd. Like their offense isn't that good. The only highlight that they have as far as offense goes is they are tied for 14th for the shooting percentage with 10. Defensively, they're kind of middle of the pack up until it comes to penalty minutes, as they are a disciplined team. And judging by the way the Red Wings play the Oilers, this could be another game where the Edmonton Oilers won't get a power play, as they are second in the league, only averaging 7.3 penalties per game. We shall see. We shall see what happens, how this all unfolds. It'll be tomorrow night, and we will definitely get into that. And we will see what happens. All right, guys. I don't know if the comments are coming through or not. I'm hoping they are. I'm going to see again. Let me just see here. No comments have come in, so we'll see if it does. I'm going to have to try to figure out something if you guys are actually putting in comments. I do apologize for not responding back. It is kind of a little frustrating to me. I don't know if you guys were actually commenting during the episode or not, but if I notice your comments there, I'm going to really try to look for it and try to reply back to you at some point in time, to as many as I can. Let's wrap this up, guys. As the Oilers are doing pretty good. Again, I intend on doing a armchair GM sometime during this long weekend that we got coming up here in Canada. So I'm going to give it some thought of who I think the Oilers should go for. The Jake Guentzel was kind of a hiccup, and the reason why I want to add that Jake Guentzel thing in there is I'm seeing it everywhere. I'm seeing it on YouTube. I'm seeing it online. I'm seeing it everywhere. And I thought I'd want to address it. And I think Guentzel would be a very good fit for the Edmonton Oilers. Him and McDavid could be absolutely lethal. But other than that, I don't see any of your comments here. I apologize for not answering. If you did, I will try to get back to you later. But I think I'm going to wrap this episode up. Those of you who are witnessing this channel for the very first time and like the content I bring, feel free to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Also, one other thing. A few episodes ago, after the streak, when Vegas beat the Oilers, I did an episode, and I don't know if it made it to YouTube. I reposted it today. If it made it into, I was a little disappointed about that, but we'll see. I did repost it. Hopefully it's up, but I was looking at the view counts. I'm like, oh, what happened there? And I don't know what happened there, but for whatever reason, it just didn't seem like it was being advertised on YouTube. So if you want to take a look at that, I gave a shout out for the streak and how well they did. So yeah. To the new guys, yeah, if you like my content, feel free to hit that like, share, and subscribe. To all of my subscribers that I've had through this journey so far, thank you for being aboard. I do appreciate your support, and we will catch you. I think I'm going to do an episode probably Sunday or Monday would be the next time. You guys have an amazing night. Again, it's Valentine's Day. Treat your lady right. Okay, guys, you have a good night.